You can ring Doug's bell. Ring Doug's bell. Doug's bell. Ring Doug's bell. You can ring Doug's bell. Ring Doug's bell. Doug's bell. Ring Doug's bell. Welcome to the Doug Bellcast. And now, here is your host, the star of Ring My Bell, Doug Bell. I'm piping mad. I'm piping mad right now. I just got back from supper. My supper got ruined. I'm piping mad. Steamed like a vegetable. I was out to supper. Young lady I met, we went on a nice date, everything's going great. 3 young people came in and sat next to us. 3 young people came in and they start talking loud on their Instagram, doing all this. And then they start like taking pictures and stuff. And so I lean over and I go, hey, look, I understand being starstruck, but I'm on a date with this young lady. There's no need to try taking my picture. And they look at me and they go, who are you? And there was like 8 young people at the table. And they go, who are you? I go, you're trying to take my picture. I'm Doug Bell. And the girl goes, shit, come on, let's just be quiet. And I'm not lying. I had a couple of belts of booze. And so I go, no, they're all starstruck trying to take my picture. No, thank you. I go like that, I says to him. I go, no, thank you. I was so angry. I should have probably handled it a little bit better. Oh, my camera switched. Does that look okay? How's that look? I was so mad. I was like, I don't understand what's going on here. They're trying to take my picture. Hold on. It's perfect. And I'm like, this ain't cool. And they said, we have no idea who you are. And then one of the guys tells me he says for me to shut up and to take he called her my date a bitch. He goes, take your bitch and get out of here. And I said, that's not nice language at all to use. Why don't you be a gentleman? And then 3 or 4 of the guys stood up and, we were in Staten Island. I didn't know they were like Wu Tang Clan guys, I think. And the Wu Tang Clan is like a musical group. They play songs. And one of the guys told me, no one's trying to take your picture. And he made fun of my hair. He said, you Tweety Bird head motherfucker. We're going to cut that curse out. And my date laughed. And I go, what are you laughing at? I don't look like Tweety Bird. I go, I'm not tweeting. I'm not a bird. I was so steamed. And my date laughed at me. And I told her, you can go home by yourself. And the guy from the Wu Tang Clan guy asked her if she wanted to have supper with him. And she goes, I'm such a big fan. I'm such a big fan. And I was like, yeah, well, you can just stay here then. And she's probably regretting it because they were all laughing and having a good time. And when I walked out, I took my hat, I put it back on. I go, Doug Bell is nobody's sap. And one of the guys from Wu Tang Clan slapped the back of my head. And my hat fell off onto the ground. It was a Chinese place in Staten Island. And my date, I could hear her when I left. It was so rude. She was going, I can't believe I went out with that asshole. I was like, you're an asshole. And then one of the guys stood up and told me I better shut up. And he took my hat off and I had dirt on it. And he started slapping me across the face with my own hat. He's lucky I didn't do something. He's lucky that I was like, I'm going to be a gentleman and go home. And I'm so steamed right now, man. He's lucky. That guy's lucky. I told him, if you keep hitting me in the face with my hat, there's going to be a problem, buckaroo. And he did it like just probably about 12, 13 more times. And I go, one more time. And then he finally threw the hat back down on the ground again. Lucky it's like a leather hat. You can just wash it right off. Do like that. You get a little dirt on a hat like this. Scrub it right off. So I'm not going to be buying Wu Tang Clan records anytime soon. Because I think the guy got mad when I found out who they were. I went down and told the manager, I think dirty old bastards up there yelling and being on Instagram. The guy goes, what? I go, dirty old bastards up there. I don't know what you're talking about. Don't use that kind of language in my restaurant. And he made me leave. But I didn't like the Tweety Bird line. I said, that guy said I'm a Tweety Bird looking MFer. I said MFer. I don't like to curse. Ruined my night. Otherwise, I would have been so cool to hang out with those guys if they just asked for a picture. Hey, Doug Bell, blah, 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 blah. My date, I probably won't go out with her again. She stayed there and I heard her. That guy's an asshole. That guy's an asshole. I can't go out with him. He's an asshole. I met her on Tinder. And I was using like the old promo picture from RMB. And she goes, you look younger in your picture. I was so fuming. She didn't like the stash. I go, that's a sign of maturity. That's what I said to her. This is a sign of maturity. Anyway, I didn't care for that at all. So thank you, Wu Tang Clan, but I won't be buying any of your new albums. That's the food coming out of me. I'm sorry. I needed that, though. My stomach was all giving me a hard time. You know, I bumped into, too, a couple of days ago, Joe Gordon-Levitt. I seen Joey Gordon-Levitt. He's good people, Joe. I walk up to him, and he's standing outside this flower shop of all places. And I walk up, and I go, hey, it's good to see you here. Are you super pumped? I do that to him, you know, because he was in the Uber show, Super Pumped. And I go, are you super pumped? And he goes, he points at me. You know, you get a kick out of it. So I'm like, here's my opportunity. I go, Joe, all kidding aside, Doug Bell, blah, blah, blah. I go, why don't we do a project together? He goes, it's all got to go through the agent. I'm like, you're here, I'm here. I go, agent schmagent. I said that to him because people like it. I go, me and you ought to just do a project together. Let's do something. Season 2 of the Uber show. I go, I'll be in Super Pumped. Bring me in as like the guy from Lyft. And then maybe me and you have like some type of a fist fight, or we fight for the same girl. Blah, blah, blah. I go like that. I go, be so crazy. I go like, I even got the bell. Because I always got the bell. I pull it out. I go, you'll know that I'm coming. You'll be like, hey, where's that Lyft guy? You'll hear the tinkling of it. You'll be like, oh shit. And he goes, that stuff didn't happen though. And I go, no, but it's season 2, you know? He goes, no, it was only 1 season. And I said, what, was the ratings no good? I go, I'm sorry, man. I thought it was really good. A lot of people thought it stunk. I tell him that. I go, look, Joe, I don't like to be the bearer of bad news, but everyone I talked to thought it stunk. But I thought it was really good. I tell him, I'm like, that was such a good show. Season 2 will be so funny. I go, I'll play the Lyft guy. You play, I forgot. I think I said Joey Uber. I forgot that wasn't the guy's name. Travis, I think his name was in the show, but I called him Joey Uber. I was just not paying attention. I was a little nervous. And he goes, no, they only do 1 season. He laughs at me. And I go, well, let's just do some kind of project. I go, Joe, how about this? I go, let's improv a scene. He goes, no, I'm buying flowers for it's my wife's birthday. So I go, what's your name? I say that to him. I'm like, hey, I like, you know, I say, hey, I've never said no to birthday cake. You know, I joke with him like that, but I do like a piece of birthday cake. And he goes, I gotta go. It's a little personal. And I go, well, how are we going to work together if we don't get to know each other? I say that to him, which I think is a fair question. If we're going to get to know each other, work together, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, he went back in a flower shop, and then the manager kind of just came out and looked at me like that. So I was like, this is so perfect. Bell, Gordon-Levitt, So I said, where's Joey? Get him back out here. And he goes, oh, he left. And I walk through the store and I see that there's a back entrance. So I bet you he got out of there early to talk to his agent. So fingers crossed, Joe Gordon-Levitt. I think I pitched him a good idea. Hey, looks like you're super pumped. It was so funny, but I feel bad I called him Joey Uber. And I didn't know it was based on anything real. So maybe he thinks I'm kind of, just kind of like, oh no, Bell's off. Bell's off his rocker. He probably thinks I'm off my rocker. But I'm not. I'm not. I made a little bit of a mistake. But I always talk to people. You guys know. I just take the lid off of Hollywood. I blow it right out. I tell you, I seen Dave Grohl. Dave Grohl was cool. I was out in BKN, Brooklyn, and I went to a Nets watching a little hoop. A little hooping. Guys are hooping, and I see Dave Grohl when I walk out. And I walk right up to him. People are looking at him, but no one's approaching him. But I don't, two celebrities, we should just kind of talk. So Davey's got the hat on, and I walk right over to him. And I go, boom, put the hand right out. And I go, I do like that, like the drums. And he goes, and I go, Davey, it's Bell. How you doing? And he looks at me. I go, Doug Bell. And he goes, Doug, So he'd probably remember me from the show. And he goes, all right, I'm just taking off now. And I grab his hand. I had like 7 beers at the Nets, at the hoops, watching some hoops. I had like 7 beers. I was feeling no pain. 2 bells to the wind. I grabbed his forearm like that. And I go, how crazy was that Kurt thing? Could you believe he did that? I told him I was so shocked. I go, dude, when I first heard about Kurt, I was actually in a store and I went down there for some Doritos. I don't know why I told him the whole story because it wasn't a great story. I just went down for some Doritos and I wanted the Cool Ranch. They didn't have it, so I was getting a regular. So I'm walking out and I get in the car, it was an old Chevy I was driving. I turn it on and I hear on the news, they say Kurt Cobain passed away, shot himself. And so I'm telling this to Grohl and he goes, let go of my arm. I was like, I just got so into it. And I was like, could you believe what Kurt did? Why did he do that? But he's like, he had to go because he had a couple of kids with him. I guess he's got kids. I don't know. But he was like taking them to the ball game. So I say to them, how'd you enjoy the hoops? I say that to them and they looked at me, but I go, it's okay. You could talk to me. And he goes, no. We're just getting out of here. And I start doing like the hoop thing and the kid laughs at, he smiles. He's like a ball player too, probably like a little future ball player. But Davey Grohl's good people. But I do like this so he knows that I know he's a drummer. But I ask him real quick, I go, dude, before you go, don't be like that. Don't be all like high and mighty. I go, just real quick. Top 10 greatest drummers of all time. He's like, I go, come on. And now there's a couple of people that have come over. So I go, Davey's going to tell us the top 10 drummers of all time. I go, get your phones out. Like, this is going to be a moment. And I think that he's probably bummed out that no one's recognizing him, blah, blah, blah. So a couple people got the phones out and he's like trying to walk away. I go, come on. I go, who is it? I go, is it Johnny Bonham? I go, is it Johnny Bonham? I messed up. I called him Kevin Moon. I'm 7 beers in. I was fucked up. I go, Johnny Bonham, Kevin Moon. And I messed up again because Buddy Rich is a drummer, but I just tripped and I go, Charlie Rich? And he goes, what? I go, Charlie Rich? He goes, the guy who sings Behind Closed Doors, he isn't a drummer. I go, oh, fuck. I go, Davey, you got me. He was Charlie Rich. When you get behind closed doors. A good song. All kidding aside. But he wouldn't name his favorite drummer, so I just started yelling. You know what I mean? I did Johnny Bonham. I did, like I said, Kevin Moon, and I messed up to call him Charlie Rich. I said, what about What about Neil Peart? I go like that. I go, what do you think of Neil Peart? And he goes, he was great. And I go, you ever hear Tom Sawyer? Bet you couldn't play it. And he goes, I bet you're right. He's trying to get into he's got like a black car, Mr. Fancy Pants, I do like that to him. And I go, Neil Peart is my favorite. I go, don't get nothing wrong, though. You're a pretty good drummer yourself, Buckaroo. I say that to him. But I say Neil Peart is probably my favorite. And I go, did you see Talking with Mr. Baker, the Ginger Baker show? Talking with Mr. Baker. I got fucking cranky was that guy. I got like angry. I think I screamed. I got fucking cranky. And he goes, whoa, relax, man. I got a kid. I was like, oh, sorry. I didn't mean to curse in front of the kid. How fucking cranky was Ginger Baker? But then he just goes, hey, man, I got to go. So I go, come on, let's do a couple videos for Graham. Like that. And he goes, all right, you get quick smile. And so I pick up the phone. It was so cool. I go, hang in here. I go, hang in here with Dave Grohl from the Food Fighters. I messed up. I called them the Food Fighters. But I wasn't trying to be like cute or anything. I just panicked. And then he just kind of pushes my hand away like that. He gets in the car and goes, excuse Bell, excuse Bell for ringing. Excuse Bell for ringing. That Kurt thing was so messed up, though. Couldn't believe it. It was kind of cool, except for tonight. I came in hot. The damn Wu Tang Clan thing got me so crazy that she's probably still out having supper with them. Hope that they didn't, I'm waiting. I texted her a few times. She hasn't got back to me. So we'll see what happens. But, thanks for nothing, Diane. Thanks for nothing. But anyway, I needed to just get this off my chest because I came home. I was steamed like a sauna, but now I feel a little better. But anyway, fly wild, stay gold, brothers. You can ring Doug's bell. Ring Doug's bell. Doug's bell. Ring Doug's bell. You can ring Doug's bell. Ring Doug's bell. Doug's bell. Ring Doug's bell.